This is the Canon Powershot A560 point-and-shoot camera. The camera was released in 2007 and, as it says on the front, has a 7.1 megapixel sensor, which for the time was quite good. It also has a 4x optical zoom, which in micro four thirds is 17mm to 70mm and full frame 35 to 140. And the camera actually says it's a 5.8mm to 23.2, and that's because it's got a 1/4 inch sensor. So if you compare that to a full frame sensor, it's much smaller, but it still takes nice pictures. Its minimum aperture is f2.6 at 35mm and f5.5 at 140mm, so the aperture range is quite good. It also has an ISO range of 80 to 1600 and a maximum shutter speed of 1/2000 of a second, and that's really nice for most of us. And mentioning nice, if you feel like it, you could be nice and hit like on this video. It's got a flash gun, and really importantly for a camera of its age and its type, it has a viewfinder and a live view that you can add grid lines to. It also records video with sound, and it records a video at 640 by 480 at 30 frames per second or 320 by 240 at 60 frames per second, which is also good for a camera of its age. It takes AA batteries, which provides between 200 to 300 shots. However, I found it struggles with alkali batteries, and even with a full charge, the camera shows low battery. It also uses SD or SDHC high capacity cards, and it has a USB 2 slot for connecting a printer and an audio output jack. The camera weighs 165 grams or about 200 grams with batteries in it. It is a point-and-shoot camera, and I find it a bit chunky, especially with the grip on the right that holds the batteries, which is nice for handling, but does make it a bit big to put in your pocket. It does have some scene modes and a manual mode, though it's not manual in the sense that we're used to, because you can't change many settings. Apart from ISO and long shutter speeds, there is also no RAW output, and it's only JPEG, which is a shame. What would you use this camera for? Well, I think it's ideal for family snaps, holiday parties, etc. And despite its ideal size, it wouldn't work for street photography because you can adjust the shutter speed. I will go out and take a couple of shots to see how the camera performs. I've come out to Lincoln's Arboretum in the centre of the city to try to get a couple of shots with the Canon A560, just to get an idea of what the shots are like, what the camera can do. Of course, I can't change the settings. Manual doesn't work in the way that we know manual, but I'll give this little camera a shot. I'll give it a try out, see what pictures it can take, and hopefully we can have a look at them together and see what those pictures come out like. It might be a surprise. So let's have a look. Let's find some nice photos. Found this rusty padlock on a bin, and I decided, because we are in the middle of a wabi-sabi challenge, I would try to take a picture of this rusty padlock. And it's ideal for wabi-sabi because wabi-sabi means imperfections, decay, that sort of photograph. Something's not quite right. So I've got this lined up. Hopefully you can see it. I've got the padlock on the third, and the rest of the bin is pointing towards that padlock. I've got the camera in what is manual mode, and I've put it into the macro option. I've zoomed right in as far as I can, so I'm at 140mm zoomed in, and I'm just going to take this picture now. It's kind of given me a really random focus point, which that's it, perfect now. And I'm just going to hit the shutter button on that, and there we are. I know I've not used the timer. In fact, let's use the timer, 10-second timer, and we'll see how that works. So there you go, 10-second timer, and I'm going to take that picture now, and when that's taken, I'll get it back and we can look at that straight away. Hopefully that comes out well. We can see that's gone for high ISO, because when I tried to take that shot earlier, the flash came on and all sorts in auto mode, so I had to take it out of that auto mode. In fact, we should be able to have a quick look at the back now. Hopefully you can see that. It's given us a nice histogram there. It's gone 1/25 of a second, f5.5, and it's got 1600 ISO. So that's the first picture. So let's have a look at that now. This could be a nice test to use the landscape option on this camera and maybe try to get a reflection of in this water. There's not too much to reflect, but I'll just give this a try and we'll see how this looks. So I want to give the camera a test of its landscape capabilities. The batteries are already running out, which is a bit of a shame, so I'll be quick with this. I've just taken this Victorian shelter in the middle of the Arboretum, and I've got lots and lots of things in the background. This is in landscape mode, so we'll give this a try now. I'm going to go for the timer because it is a 10-second shot, because when I've tried to take this picture, it was far too long the shutter speed, and it wouldn't take it. So I best do this now before it runs out of battery. Let's have a look at that picture. Come on, focus in for me, please. It's focusing on the trees. I just got to go what it gives you. It's half a second at f4.5, and it probably is giving me ISO 80. This is landscape mode, so obviously this is the mode you've got to go with. It's quite a nice picture, really. It's okay. It's given me all those settings and should be all right. But we'll have a look. I'll try and get one more shot if I can. So let's see how I do. It's a bit unfair, really, to test this camera in these conditions, especially late in the evening. But it does give us a chance to test the low light capabilities of the camera, just to see how it handles low light. I'm going to take a picture of the bandstand now, and it's really, really dim light now, and it'll be really interesting to see how it copes. So let's have a look and let's take this picture together. For this image, I've gone for auto landscape. I've set the ISO to looks like 1600. Let's have a look together. So I'm going to set the ISO to 400, and the camera does the rest. If I'm honest, I've gone. It's kind of given me 1/50 of a second, f2.6. I've got the camera quite wide, ISO 400, and I've got the timer on. Yes, I have. So let's take that picture now. It changes focus point every time you press the button, which is slightly annoying. But here goes that picture, and 10 seconds later, let's have a look. Before someone walks into shot, just about managed it. So we'll have a look at that picture as well, and hopefully that's an okay picture again. So there you go. There's the settings, ISO 400, 1/50 of a second, f2.6, and it doesn't tell me what focal length I've got, but I'll check that when I get back. There you have it. Let's see how those pictures turn out. Let's see what the quality of the images are like on this camera. Would I recommend this camera to you? And is it worth buying? Well, probably not. And there are many more cameras under $50 price bracket that are better. And in fact, you could get as good, if not better, photos with a modern smartphone than this camera. Thanks very much for watching the video. And if you enjoy these photography videos, why not follow along and subscribe to the channel, which would encourage me to post more of these videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.